Hey, hope you're doing well. I know things are crazy right now, but I want to give you some things to think about with this video that you can be putting into place while you are going through this downtime. Most of us are quarantined or at home unless they're headed to the hospital for work. So a lot of us have a lot of time on our hands. And because of that, I want you to think about some of the excuses you may have been using your life up to this point, or kind of think about some things that you can get done while you're at home. So one of the most common excuses I think a lot of us hear for why people don't do things is, well, I just don't have time. I know I should work out, but I don't have time. I really wanted to learn another language, but I just don't have time. I know I should cook at the house more, but by the time I take the kids to school and I get home from work, I just don't have time to do it. I'm worn out. I really wanted to start this new business, but I just don't have time. Well, for most of us, some of you are still doing the homeschooling and all that stuff, but if you're not going to work and you're not going to the store and you're not going out to eat, you got a lot of time right now. So this coronavirus is dangerous for a lot of reasons, but I'm afraid it might kill some of your excuses. So I want you to think about that kind of stuff. If you are still in a position where you have this time on your hands and you're sitting at home a lot and you're still not doing the things that you wanted to do that you didn't have time for before, maybe it's a question of priority. Did you really want to do those things, or you really didn't want to do them and I don't have time to do it is a really acceptable excuse for a lot of people now. People take that as face value. Even though we all have the same amount of time in a day, you can tell somebody, I've been wanting to read more books. I know I should read. I just don't have time. I'm strapped. I've got too much stuff I have to do. I'll get to, maybe when I retire, I'll start to read it. Or, maybe if I have a downtime on a weekend, come on. Alcohol sales are up, 55% right now. Hard liquor sales are up 75%. Online alcohol sales are up 240%. Netflix new subscriptions are through the roof, and watch time. The internet bandwidth is down because so many people are streaming video and playing video games all the time. So look, you have time right now. And I'm not saying don't do those things. If you take some downtime and watch Netflix. If you're trying to figure out what all these memes on the internet are about with this Joe Exotic guy, then you're going to have to turn on Netflix at some point. Hey, I play video games at night, whatever. But don't let it be your whole day. I'm afraid there's a lot of people right now, just based on the statistics, that are sitting on the couch, drinking all day, watching Netflix, getting nothing done. And, I don't know how long it's going to take, but we're going to come out of this thing. And you have time right now to get some stuff done, to do the things that you didn't have time to do before. And, that could really, it can help you grow. It could help you get healthy. For the example, I don't have time to work out and I don't have time to cook at home. Look, you're really not supposed to be going to eat anywhere right now. And you could save a lot of money in delivery fees if you would just cook at the house, and now you have the time to do it. So let's think about some of those things. And like I said, if you are still not doing those things, if you didn't have time to read the book, didn't have time to learn the language, didn't have time to cook, and now you do and you're still not doing it, how about we just cross those things off our list as priorities? Don't say I don't have time to do it. Just say I don't care about doing it. Fine. Be honest with yourself. And then maybe that helps you kind of reorient yourself on what it is you need to be doing, or if you need to make some changes, some habit changes. So I know time management can be hard for a lot of people. So here's a few things that I've written down of ways that you can improve over this. We can kind of reset our schedule in some sense. So one of the easiest things you can do right now, even though it's hard for a lot of us because we don't have to do it, but I'd say stay in the habit, because again, this is going to end. We will come out of this on the other end. We don't know how long it's going to take, but it will happen. So a simple thing you can do to create more time in your day, get up early. Don't sleep all day just because you can. And I tell you what, getting up earlier and having more hours of sunshine, it helps your mood too. So that's a good one. Get up early, get on a schedule, try to go to sleep, around the same time every night. But the biggest thing is getting up at the same time every night, or in the morning, excuse me. Get up at the same time every morning, even if you can't get to bed at the same time each night. Stop trying to multitask. And that's when it's tough for a lot of people. I hear a lot of people say, I'm a great multitasker. You just aren't. Sorry, it's just not the way the human brain works. You can only do one thing at a time. Now, you could switch back and forth between tasks mentally very quickly, but it's not multitasking, because at any one time you can only give attention and effort to one issue. So a good way to keep you from multitasking and figuring out what you need to do is prioritize the things in your day that you need to get done. Now, I do something, I forget exactly where I heard this, but MINS, M-I-N-S, the most important next step. And so if it helps you to create a list of, a lot of people have a to-do list, but put that to-do list in order. What is the first thing you need to get done? I'm transitioning my business more online now. My transition coaching that I do in classrooms, there's no classrooms right now. So I'm having to switch all that over. So I have most important next steps. Mine were order a piece of equipment that I have to do these online calls. Order the platform I'm going to do it on. Set up how I'm going to distribute the class, all this stuff. But I have a list of steps, and I don't go down to another one until the first one is finished, because it's the most important next step. So I'm not trying to multitask and pull a lot of pieces together. I'm devoting 100% to the next step until I get it done. So that's something really valuable to think about. Don't let your mind wander, and don't add on little ancillary things at the end of your list to make you feel like you're being productive. Like, for instance, say, I need to sit down and record. I need to sit down and record a class. And I can sit here, and while I'm doing it, maybe I get bored or whatever, and I say, oh yeah, I also need to unload the dishwasher, and I really need to do that laundry too. Yeah, I'm gonna go do that. And so I go do those things, those little extra things, and then I feel to myself, I'm like, oh, well, I'm being productive because I finished something. But the most important next step was not finished. So really, I'm just procrastinating, because all that stuff will have to be done again anyway. So stay on your most important next step. Track your time. This is a big one, and it's shocking for a lot of people. And just seeing what you spend your time on, for a lot of people, will make you change your schedule. If you just, every little bit, or when you change activities, write down, sat down at 10 a.m. with a bowl of cereal and watch Netflix for 2.5 hours. Just those kind of things. Play video games for 4 hours in the afternoon. Write these things down, or hey, scrolled Instagram and Snapchat for 45 minutes. Just write that stuff down. And at the end of the day, you look at that list, and you've spent half of your day on social media or watching a TV, or maybe all of your day doing those things. Even that right there, just that self-awareness could very easily make you go, I could be doing something a little more productive, or I could be growing, or I could be learning. So write down your time. Have a little time schedule. Try to eliminate your distractions. Right now, shooting this, I am out of the house. I'm at a community clubhouse in the neighborhood, and the doors are locked. There's nobody here. There's not a TV in here. So this is important. I need to work on these things. And so I know that with people running around in the house, or somebody's going to come turn the TV on, or whatever's going on, or again, those other things that it's easy to jump to and say, oh, I'm being productive. The dishwasher's in there, the laundry machine's in there, all that stuff. There's a Swiffer. If I really get bored, I could sweep the floors and feel like I'm doing something, but I'm not doing what I need to be doing. So get away from those distractions if you can. Get a routine. The things that are going to happen regularly in your day. One of the things I was doing for a long time is I made it a point that every morning when I got up, I would read for an hour, and I wouldn't touch any device. So there would be no TV on. I would not look at the phone. I sleep every night with my phone on airplane mode, so I can't be woken up, because sleep is super important. So get a routine. Have little things that you say, at these times in the day, this is when I do this. And That way, it's easier for you to schedule the other activities, the important activities in your day that you need to get done. And after you've made all these changes, review your schedule. At the end, after you've done this for a week, compare that social media, Netflix, video game, time waster schedule to this new schedule where you've created most important next steps. You have your priorities down. You're doing those kinds of things. You're eliminating distractions. I think even just looking at that schedule will make you feel better. It'll make you feel like you're doing something. So a lot of people are on pause right now. And, some of us feel like that's all we can do. But there are things you can be doing to grow, even if you can't be doing your regular job or whatever. And that shouldn't be all you are anyway. There should be more to you than that. And if there isn't, this is a time to add to it. And even if you are a super business-minded person, you're focused on all that, think about this. The average CEO in the United States reads 60 books a year. They also earn 319 times, on average, the salary of the average worker. I feel like there's some correlation there. 60 times more books. So the average person reads about a book a year, and they're reading 60 books a year. You have a lot of time to read. You have a lot of time to learn. You have a lot of time to grow. The language, we know that learning a new language is awesome for your brain. It's awesome for your cognition. If you want something to do on your phone, download Duolingo. It's a free app. You can learn a language. Do you have a guitar or a piano sitting in the corner that you bought with every intention of learning to play, but you didn't have time? Now's the time. Do something constructive. And like I said, if we go through this time and you still have all those things, you can't go 2 months out having not worked and not have your daily routine and still go to the end and say, I was going to do that, but I didn't have time. If you're still doing that at the end of this quarantine, maybe you need to put those things away, sell the guitar, sell the piano, and find something else that you're interested in, because it's clearly not that. So just something to think about, ways that we can be productive during this downtime and try to find some light in all this craziness. Grow as an individual. Grow these, make yourself more diverse. Grow parts of your life that you've been wanting to do, but you didn't have time to do. So if there's anything I can help with that, whether it be, next steps on business, that's something that a lot of you could be doing right now. A lot of people have had a passion that they wanted to change. And I'm definitely going to be talking more about how we can grow a business right now and the changes in the business environment. But keep those things in mind. So go through those, go back, look at some of the suggestions I made on steps that you can do to be more productive and to greater utilize your time during the quarantine. So hope you all are staying safe. If you can get outside for a little bit, do it. I know I don't want you to go out and get a ticket if you're in a place that has totally locked you down, but go out there and get some sunshine. Go for a run, even if you're not a runner. Maybe go for a walk. But it'll make you feel a little better than sitting on the couch and getting drunk and watching Tiger King. So hope you all have a good day. Check back for more. Like I said, I'm going to be doing more tips on business and stuff like that. So hope to see you soon.